The best Hermes workflow you're going to see anywhere. I guarantee it because I built it and it's fantastic. And in this video, you're going to see exactly how the great, powerful Hermes should be deployed. If you're someone who does projects, entrepreneur, creator, solopreneur, if you have projects, you're going to want to watch this because Hermes is fantastic with it. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you what I built. I built on top of Hermes a project manager. Because Hermes is so good with memory, it's so good at tool calling, and it just works unlike some other things. It makes a perfect project manager. What I wanted this project manager to be able to do to keep track of all my tasks and my projects, all the things I'm working on. And believe me, it's a lot. I have a lot of irons in the fire, probably like you, and a lot of things slip through the cracks. You meant to send this to someone. You meant to delegate that to someone else. And at the end of the day, you end up losing track of what got done and what didn't get done and what do you need to do. And oh, I'm going to procrastinate on that. I had a guy reach out to me and he said, "Hey, do you have anything for project management?" And I thought, "No, I don't, but tell me what you're really thinking." So he tells me it's got the same kind of problems as me. So I built it and I've been driving it and it drives perfectly. It's powerful. It's like a Ferrari, it's like a Lamborghini. It's nimble, it's fast, and bottom line, like Hermes, it just works. Let's take a look at it right now. Okay, when I got into Hermes, I really, really liked it. Why? Because, like I said, it just works. What I mean by that, I mean, like, you don't have to keep troubleshooting it. It remembers stuff. It does what it says it's going to do. It does the tool calls. It gets back to you really fast. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wish OpenClaw would have been, but that's what Hermes is. So what's the problem? The problem is, how do you use it to be productive? I don't just want a mission control panel. What's the mission? I want to have projects that I can manage, but I don't have to manage because I'm a builder, I'm a creator, I'm not a manager. So, what did I build? I built a project manager to replace or at least augment a project manager. So, I had this in mind for myself, for people with small teams or even larger size teams. So I wanted it to be able to work within Slack, within Telegram, basically be able to connect it with wherever you connect with other people to do what? Well, I'm going to explain it to you. So what I'm going to do is show you why this is distinctively a Hermes setup because I wouldn't be able to do this with OpenClaw. Why? Because OpenClaw can't handle it. It's not faithful enough to execute on the tasks because it gets lost, it breaks for unknown reasons. I don't know why, but I don't have that problem with Hermes. So now that I found Hermes, I'm able to actually be way more productive. So this entire project manager thing is powered by Hermes. Yeah, I built out a lot because that's what I do. And I think people need this, myself included. I'm my customer, right? So, how does this work? I'm going to show you how it works and how it's a Hermes setup. So, I built this project manager. I had Codex build it, but I had Hermes prompt it out a lot. So, I would talk to Hermes and Hermes would be able to remember the conversation so I could like plot this out over a period of days. And I have Hermes running GPT 5.5, and that's a really good model. And so I was able to spitball back and forth with me, and I was able to take that to the Codex UI and then build it out from here, telling it exactly what I wanted, which was I wanted it to be able to chase down my projects, look for loose ends, be able to audit all the other places that I'm involved with my projects, that being the terminal, Claude Code, Codex, Telegram, Slack, all these kind of places, Google project folders, et cetera, be able to check on those things and be able to update without me having to update it because that creates friction. So if I'm having to always be like on my phone saying, "Hey, I did this, just want to check in with you." It's like, I can do that and I do that. But that's friction. I need to eliminate the friction because why? I don't want to be the bottleneck. That's the big problem that most of us have is we're the bottleneck. So I created it so that it can do that. It will scrape what I do in Claude Code. It scrapes what I do in Codex. It looks and hunts like a detective everywhere where I might have loose ends, and it will add it or make a project. So basically, the way that it works is I'll tell the projects or it'll find out the projects I already have. So I made it so that when it's launches, when it's new and it doesn't know you before, the pack that I made with this. What it will do is figure out all your projects, and then it will like board them out, right? So you got your projects here. By the way, this is a demo account because I don't want to like put all my info because I don't want to put all my personal stuff on. There's too top secret. It's too. I'm launching stuff with NASA. Okay, it's too good to show. So I made a demo account. So you got all your projects here, and it'll show you like is it blocked by something, is it on track. So you gotta get to see that. So I'm going to give you an overview of what this does with Hermes. Okay, so you got your inbox here. How does inbox work? Well, you could approve and dispatch. And so, in other words, like if there's something that needs to happen that Hermes is going to do as the project manager, right? It's not going to like do other stuff. This is just for project management, just to I like to think of it like football, like American football. You got the football and you want to push it down the field. So you want to get it down to get it in the end zone. That's the project manager's job to push it down the field, to get it to who it needs to be. Does this need to go to a video editor? Does this need to go to a copywriter? Does this need to go to a graphic designer? Does this need to go to a coder? Like, what does it need to go to? Development. What does it need to go to? Scaffolding. What does it need to go to? That's what this does. It chases it. It figures out the right person, and when you're setting it up, it can connect. It could send an email. It could talk to them via Slack, whatever you needed to do. It could send you a text message. I had mine hooked up to my text messages as well. Am I afraid? No, I'm not afraid because I don't live in fear. So I wanted something that I could approve, right? So it wants to do something. So I just approve it. I could deny it. I could put it on hold or I could change it. So what happens is when I hit this, it will ping my Hermes. And by the way, I never named Hermes another name. Okay. Why not? Because I did that with OpenClaw and it didn't work out. I'm scarred. I got trauma. So his name is Hermes. So I approve it and then it will ping him and then he'll get to work. If I deny it, he'll get that notification. So whatever I do here within the UI, it goes to Hermes as well. So if I change something here, he'll get that notification and he'll start to act on it. So these are all the things that have to do with the steps in the project. Now, I added this action queue because what happens here is like I want to be able to see what it's going to do. Like, is it going to remind this guy? Is it going to kick off something? Is it going to go to a transcription? I have a coaching call. I have a consulting call. I have some kind of business meeting. It takes a transcript. It automatically will be pinged that there's a transcript in that folder and it will say, going to do this thing with that transcript. I'm going to take all these tasks and I'm going to do it. Now it'll show you what's done. So I got stuff that's pending that's going to come up so I can like get a bird's eye view, right? Get some project statistics, some cool things like that, some last things that it did. You know, it sent the client friendly kickoff, decided this, connected with this. So it actually does stuff. It seeks my approval. It shows me what's on the radar here. So here's just like a traditional Kanban board. So it will take these things and I'll be able to see, oh, this needs approval. This needs to sign. And I could here, done, block, do something else. And then I could just basically see where these things are at in the project cycle. So I get a bird's eye view. And then the Hermes is is the one who populates all this based upon my conversations with it. Now, if I wanted to create a project, I can create a project to give to Hermes from within here because sometimes talking with Hermes in the terminal or in Telegram is not really conducive to setting up a project because it doesn't have the containers and the constraints that make you really define the projects or the project. So here, I built that in here so I could build it out here and it will ping it off to Hermes and then Hermes can do his thing and organize it and get all the steps. So I got my project title, project owner, people involved. Why do I have people involved? Because I have Hermes in Slack. He'll know who to contact or who to email because he's got access to email. He's got his own email. Due date, success metrics, desired outcome. Now, what is Hermes really good at? Remembering stuff. So he remembers all this stuff. And when it's time for him to take action, he goes to his little memory and then he knows the context to move to take forward. So doing all these project type of things is like setting up a lot of intricate cron jobs, but they're not really cron jobs because they just don't run like on an automated time every day, although some of them do. So you get to see in scope, out of scope, and then I could kick this off. Hermes will save it, and now we got it. It's in the queue. It's ongoing. So context radar. Remember I told you that it scans things in my second brain? So how does this work? Well, I built something that scans all my conversations with Claude Code, Codex, whatever. It goes in those logs and it puts it and it tags it and puts it in my Obsidian. So everything gets logged no matter where I'm at and what I do. So Hermes goes and looks at all that stuff because it has the tags and dates, and then he populates it in here, and then I can see what he's seeing when he's picking up and putting all these loose ends together. Some other cool things that he does. So when he finds something, he brings it to my attention and he's like, "Hey, is this a project?" Or I'm talking to him, he's like, "Hey, this sounds like a project." If it's just a one action item, he doesn't do that. So the reason that I say this is the best workflow for Hermes is because it takes everything that Hermes is really good at, which is memory, execution, faithfulness being it doesn't break, and then it gives it a container to push projects down the road. Now, what about actually doing the work? Well, it could do that too. So I have this other thing that I built, and I won't talk about here. It's like an orchestrator. It's like a conductor. And what it does, it's sort of like paperclip, except better, I think, because it has directives and has more mind in it. So what I have it working as, I have Hermes as the project manager here, kicking off and delegating not only to humans, but to other agents. And I could see it all happening in my org chart. It's freaking sweet. So if you want to see that in the next video, let me know about that. But, anyways, this is the absolute best workflow because you can get stuff done. So when I'm talking to Hermes, it actually categorizes stuff because this pack that I made directs it and gives it direction and things that it can do. Otherwise, you don't really have containers for it. It doesn't really have a direction. And the reason I like this as project management is because it's productivity focused. And when you have it tied to a business, now it's profitability focused. And that's what I'm really interested in. If you like this kind of stuff, if you want to see the other thing that I built that I mentioned here, let me know. I'd be happy to show you that one too. See you in the next video. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. And don't forget to subscribe.